This is part 2 of chapter 47, Simple Sentences for English 098. When we stopped, we were talking about prepositional phrases. I explained that a phrase is a group of words that is missing a subject and a verb, or both, and is not a complete sentence. Now, what we're going to be talking about specifically are prepositional phrases. And this is a phrase that begins with a prepositional word, and you can see a list of these on page 830. I may also have a link for this on Angel, so you can see a list of prepositions. It is made up of a preposition. It begins with a preposition, and it ends with an object. This is a noun or a pronoun that is the object of the preposition. Some things to be careful about with prepositional phrase is this. Please understand, the noun or pronoun in a prepositional phrase is not the subject of the sentence. So if you're looking for the subject of the sentence, you're not going to find it with a prepositional phrase, no matter how much you want to. Also, when a sentence contains according to, which is a smaller phrase, the noun that immediately follows the word according to is not the subject of the sentence. It's almost like a prepositional phrase, so be careful. You'll see some of this in your homework, so be careful of that. Prepositional phrases are going to follow us through the entire length of the course. We're going to be using them to help us find subjects and verbs in a sentence, all that sort of stuff. So we're not done with them. Will there be things about prepositional phrases on the test? Yes. All right, we need to talk a little bit about verbs so we can identify them. Remember that we can talk about verbs in lots of different ways. In this chapter, we're going to be talking about them in terms of action verbs. And an action verb simply shows the action that a subject performs. Words like run, launch, design, things like that. A linking verb is usually a state of being verb that connects the subject with a describing word or a completing word. As in, Stuart is 14. Is your verb, and it connects Stuart to his age, which is 14. Just like we can have compound subjects, we can have compound verbs. We have more than one verb when we want to talk about more than one action at one time. Please be careful of infinitives. Infinitives are phrases that begin with to and end with a verb. So when you see to and you see a verb right behind it, that verb cannot be the verb of the sentence because it's part of an infinitive phrase. Let's talk a little bit about helping verbs too, and we'll talk more about these as we move through other sentence structures and into our verb section. Helping verbs are basically verbs that are used to combine with a main verb to clarify time, a negative structure, or sometimes even a question structure. There are words like is and was and has and been, and usually they're paired up with another, either an action verb or another verb or being. These, when they're put together, when you put a helping verb and a main verb together, it is called a complete verb. Sometimes they come in twos, sometimes they come in threes. If you look on page 834 in your book, you'll see information about this. It gets more detailed. Also, check My Writing Lab because it's going to address these pieces of information as well.
Can I see how you do this?
And so we come to the end of chapter 47. My son wants to say hi to you.
Hey guys.
Yeah, he's featured a lot in my sentences, especially on the board. You'll hear a lot about him. He's 14 years old and he's crazy. I love him. All right. So now we're going to end this. This is the end of chapter 47. Please do your homework. It's on Angel. It's already ready. If you have questions, take it to the Learning Center. And we'll see you for Chapter 48.